every angle in the world of professional wrestling. It's Busted Open on Sirius XM Radio.
And we absolutely did cover every angle of professional wrestling today, Larry Dallas. Of course, LaGreca and Larry Dallas. Larry filling in for Doug, who will be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're playing Self High Five, the DDP thing.
It smells like Teen Spirit in here to me.
Dude, I don't know. Some people say it smells like Teen Spirit in here. Yeah, that's funny. People think that this smells like Teen Spirit. I actually think that Smells Like Teen Spirit sounds like this. Okay? Yeah, that's what I think. Nirvana stole from DDP. How about that?
You are a twisted human being. You really are.
Now, the reason that our good friend Aaron York has played this, and I did get his name right? It's Aaron York?
I don't know.
All right, good. The reason that he is playing this is because it is rumored that DDP will be a part of the 2017 WWE Hall of Fame
That's
class.
PB&J boy to me. I don't know what his real name is. But yeah, DDP might be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. WWE Hall of Fame doesn't mean anything to me. Does it mean anything to you?
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
Really?
That whole nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying.
From that standpoint, yes.
Yeah, and I hear what you're about to say. I mean, there is a true pro wrestling Hall of Fame.
One which I have a vote.
That's a different Hall of Fame.
That's the real Hall of Fame.
No, well, there is the pro wrestling, the actual building pro wrestling Hall of Fame in Albany.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about the
Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame.
Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame.
I am a voter.
Yeah, so that kind of loses credibility there.
Listen to this. I'm a gatekeeper of the immortals.
Now, interesting.
Yeah.
Get me a vote.
No, you're not qualified.
No, I'm not.
No. Otherwise, Jericho would have been in 20 years ago.
Charlotte
Flair being now.
Okay. The WWE Hall of Fame, and I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, Larry, in the fact that it is one man's Hall of Fame. It's Vince McMahon's Hall of Fame. But there is, being that it's the number one company and being that you get 15,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, the crowds that they've gotten for the last couple of WWE Hall of Fames has been even more impressive than what we see at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because I've been there. It does mean something. It means something to the fans as well. So I think it is, and I really do hope that the rumors are true. I really do hope that DDP is going into the Hall of Fame.
I enjoy the Hall of Fame. I love watching the Hall of Fame. But I don't take it serious in the sense that I get worked up over who's in it, who's not in it, because it just is what it is. And but as a spectacle, as a standalone spectacle, every WrestleMania weekend, I usually have a show head to head with the Hall of Fame. So I've never been able to go. It's probably one of my real regrets in life that I've never been able to go yet, because there were certain performers that I really liked a lot that I would have loved to see them give their speech for, but for the foreseeable future, I'm probably not going to be able to make one, because I'll probably have a show for the next couple of years. But as far as actually having like a real value, I think it's awesome for the wrestlers on that roster currently. I think it's nice that they get to bring their families. I think all of that's amazing. I do. But as far as something that I'm going to sit here and talk to you about with any sense of credibility in my brain about who goes and who doesn't, I'd be lying to everybody if I was like, oh man, DDP deserves to be in that Hall of Fame.
But I do think you're downplaying it for this reason, because the WWE, when most people think of
Pete Rose is in it.
I get that. They have a celebrity wing.
McMahon's limo driver's in it. Baron Mikhail Cicluna's in it. Johnny Rods is in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel he deserves it because of what he was able to do training-wise outside of what you saw on WWF television. All I'm saying is that when the number one company, which is the WWE right now, correct? When they do give a little bit of nostalgia, when they do give a little bit of nod to the past, and it means this much to the fans, then I think it does have credibility, Larry. I understand what you're saying, that there's not a committee. It's not the Cauliflower Alley Club where there is a committee about who goes in and who doesn't. I understand that it's pretty much one man's decision. But at the same time, when the head of that company, which is the WWE, which is the number one company, when it comes to pro wrestling, I think there's a little bit of credibility there.
But there's no standard set for why you go in. So it's not like a legitimate... It's like a greater honor to be giving a title run than it is to be. And again, some of the guys that probably didn't deserve to be in a real Hall of Fame with pro wrestling have given some of the better speeches that we've seen. The Bushwhackers were fantastic 2 years ago at that Hall of Fame in San Jose. The best part of that week, they were so freaking funny. And like the stories are amazing. Listen, the Bobby Heenan stories that Bobby Heenan got to give were amazing. All those stories were just, from that standpoint, as a standalone thing, man, to be able to sit there and watch guys that we grew up watching go out there and give these amazing speeches, that is one of the best events of the weekend. But of that Hall of Fame having any actual real credibility, it doesn't have it. But it's an amazing spectacle, but that's what it is.
And I also think it means something to the wrestlers as well.
I'm sure it does.
Like the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express, and listen, even this past year when the Freebirds got in, I think
Jimmy Garvin's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Jimmy Garvin.
I don't have a problem with Jimmy Garvin being in the Hall of Fame.
Name one great match. Name two great matches.
I can name a bunch of Jimmy Garvin.
Great Jimmy Garvin matches.
Because he went in as a member of the Freebirds,
and that version of the Freebirds had a great match.
Well, now you're asking a completely different question. You're asking about the Jimmy Garvin version of the Freebirds.
Why did he go in? He went in as a Freebird, right?
He did go in as a Freebird.
Okay.
But that's more because we know of our Buddy Roberts and we know of Terry Gordy.
I forgot. Paul Roma's in with the Horsemen, right?
No, Paul Roma's not in with the Horsemen.
Why is that?
I guess they decided that, listen, it's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We could talk Rock and Roll Hall of Fame till we're blue in the face. There's certain members that go in of the band. There's certain members that go. Too. A lot of people will agree with you.
Rock and Roll.
But yet people argue about who is in and who isn't. I think the same thing happens, Larry, with the WWE
The
Hall of
only
Fame.
Hall of Fame that's a bigger credibility joke than the WWE one is the Rock and Roll one. Because that one's a joke. And it's been a joke forever. And the WWE one, it's a spectacle. It's a nice little thing to go to WrestleMania. It's a nostalgia tour. It's like a celebration of wrestling's past. But it's not this, it doesn't make you an icon being in it. It just means you were a star during some era of TV that had Hall of Fames are for immortality. It means you were one of the best of an era to do it. That's why it means something. That Hall of Fame does not represent that. It represents a celebration of history,
and that's fine. And for that alone, and I think that's the same thing when you talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's no stats to say, all right, this band deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think the same thing happens with pro wrestling, because if you have a Coco Beware that's in the Hall of Fame, there's no championship titles, there's no championship runs. They can say, all right, this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think it is something that's based on decisions that we're not even a part of or even know what it is. But you can't tell me that there isn't any credibility behind it, because if it means something to the wrestlers and it means something to the fans, that means there's some credibility behind it.
As an event to go to. But Dallas as a Hall of Famer, he was a superstar. Had an amazing career, and the stuff he's done for guys afterwards is unbelievable. And he deserves all the credit and praise that you can give a human being for that. But if this is the NFL or Major League Baseball and all that other stuff, he might be on the ballot, but he'd be one of those guys that you use as a measuring stick for Hall of Fame should be about longevity as a star, should be about accolades, should be about how many championships you've had or how long your championship runs were. It's not supposed to be something that you give out because you need to fill a slot number 7 that year. What makes the real Hall of Fame special is that sometimes 8 go in, sometimes 6 go in, sometimes 4 go in, sometimes 1 goes in. We don't have 8 slots to fill because we got a 3-hour show we want to sell. It's not Hall of Fame. That's a spectacle on it. Can you name who went in the Hall of Fame 4 years ago? WWE.
4 years ago, wasn't that the year that the Horsemen went in?
And can you name anyone else besides the Horsemen that year?
Boy, you love putting me on the spot.
I'm just asking a question. Can you tell me who went in the Hall of Fame for the NFL 4 years ago?
I'm just trying to remember from that class that you're talking about. I mean, other than the 4 Horsemen, I honestly can't tell you.
Can you name 2 people? Can you name 2 people that went in last year?
Yes, the Freebirds went in last year.
Can you name another act? Can you name me 2 people that went to the NFL one? last year.
Yeah, but the NFL is different. But the NFL is different because it's
the Hall of
based
Fame.
on stat, of course.
Okay.
And there's going to be arguments about snubs, about people who they felt deserved to go in and people that felt didn't deserve to go in.
The fact that you were at the Hall of Fame last year too, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so the fact that you were in attendance at the Hall of Fame last year, the fact that you do this for a living, you cover pro wrestling on a mainstream level, you cover mainstream pro wrestling, the fact that you
Stan
cannot
Hansen went in. I just read
It
it's
took
coming
you
to me.
that long
And Sting,
to
of
come up.
course, and Sting went in.
Your Google finally kicked up because the internet was slow here in the studio.
It takes a little time. I wish my internet was that quick in this place, and then I wouldn't have been stuck in that situation. But my mind doesn't go as quickly as yours. I'm a 45-year-old man.
My point
Because to
being-
me, that class, and I think this is another part of it. I think when you think of a certain class, there's a certain guy that it defines that class. Last year, to me, it was the Freebirds.
I can guarantee I would put $1,000 on the table right now that if we went to any other sports studio, pick an NBA guy, pick an NHL guy, pick an NFL guy, if I went there and I said to that host, and I said, hey, can you name me 3 people that went to your Hall of Fame last year? It'd be like Chris Russo would be coming out of his mouth so quickly with the answer. Because the WWE Hall of Fame has zero actual credibility and retention other than the fact that on that Saturday night, you get to break out your prom tux and go sit there next to Mortman and go, this Hall of Fame's amazing. And then the next day, it's out of your mind. Monday, we're back on
No,
Raw.
because we'll talk about it.
For 2 days.
But it doesn't matter. It means something to the fans. They wouldn't have 15,000 people in the arena if it didn't mean anything, Larry.
Things that mean something, you retain. It's an event to go
Well,
to.
Larry, do you think it's because they put too many people in at once every year?
I think, and there's
Because I mean,
no
look at
standard
this.
for it.
Look at this. 2014, Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake, Lita, and Paul Bear, and Razor Ramon all went in.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna run out of guys pretty soon.
But you say that, Alex, but there's still wrestlers and tag teams that people are fighting to see in the Hall of Fame. Rick Rude, people want to see in the Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Express, people want to see in the Hall of Fame. Midnight Express, people want to see in the Hall of Fame.
And you're gonna draw.
Plus wrestlers are retiring year in and year out.
How many people show up at these Hall of Fames? Because I've never been to one.
It usually sells out in arenas.
Which is
you usually get about 15,000.
It's a full arena.
Yes.
It's not like the Manhattan Center. Or,
No, when they originally were doing it, they did it in banquet halls. But now it is part of WrestleMania weekend. You do have a full arena of people that want to see this Hall of Fame celebration.
It's a celebration of guys that paved a way for a current generation to go sit there and watch them do what they do. But I don't think I don't think us sitting here going, is this guy a Hall of Famer? Is this guy not a Hall of Famer? For what we're talking about, that conversation is like, Was he on TV at one point? Was he a star for a year? Yeah.
But I think when it comes to wrestling, unlike the NFL or NBA, I think when you talk about the Hall of Fame, I think it goes more than just what you see in the ring. It could be training. It could be what you see backstage. Got to get the nation's take on this. 844-796-7874. Let's go out to Dave in Tom Rivers, New Jersey. Dave, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how can you guys say that the Hall of Fame doesn't really mean anything except 2 days a year? President-elect Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Hello?
See? The guy that I don't know if that's a shot at me or if he's agreeing with me, but
I don't know.
I think you just proved your point.
I can go either way. I can go either way.
Either way, it proves my point.
It proves my point because he's president-elect. He's going to be our new president.
Oh, you just turned up half our listenership.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm not saying I agree with it or disagree with it. I'm just saying that the fact that we are going to have our president, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm sure there are people that voted for Donald Trump because he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That is the
Yeah, I'm one of them.
And there you go.